At the moment, you might be going through a little bit of a rough time. And it's a period of deep healing for you. But this deep healing might be coming in a way that might feel challenging. And it's inviting you to go within. Because there's been some karmic relationships in your life that might be particularly related to a significant other or partnerships overall, where you're really being asked to examine your shadow and kind of understand where or why those relationships are presenting themselves to you. And what I see over here is that oftentimes in relationships you might have kind of given your power away, your sense of security away, potentially due to childhood wounds. You've expected for somebody else to kind of provide a sense of security and emotional regulation for yourself. And with this, you might have entered abusive, dysfunctional, or toxic relationships because you would stay there due to a fear of kind of not being able to make it on your own, even though you weren't supposed to stay there in the first place. And this is kind of an invitation to look at those patterns where you kind of haven't really been nurturing yourself, putting yourself first. And it brings to mind my own story as well, which were my own realizations, where I've realized, for example, that in my life I stayed in an abusive relationship. First I thought it was because I was afraid of being alone, but it was actually the fact also that I expected my ex-partner to basically be the one who's a sense of emotional regulation for me. So if I would feel unsafe and instead of regulating that within myself, I would expect him to do that. And I'm not talking about the abusive aspect. I'm talking of, for example, the house being a mess, and that would be like a big trigger for me. And I would expect for him to solve it for me instead of actually me working through the process myself. And we definitely need other people to kind of lean on them in difficult moments. But by no means should they be the ones fulfilling our needs in the way that we're supposed to. And those are attachment wounds that really come from our childhood, from our own needs not being met in our childhood, particularly emotional ones, and expecting now our current partners or our ex-partners to kind of fill those in. And it's kind of a call to take that blindfold off and to see how we might have contributed to some dynamics that weren't really great, and to find the strength within us to give ourselves the nurturing, the love, the support, the presence that we need, right? And for each person that's gonna be something different, but I can ask what that might be for you. And I see that there's a new portal that's opening up for you. And this portal really has to do with you being able to kind of receive something beautiful after a period where you might have felt like you've only been breadcrumbed, where you feel like you've only been receiving things that you don't actually want. And this will come. You might feel like time is running out. You might feel like, oh, I'm already this old. When is this gonna happen? I was supposed to be here or there by this time, but just trust that it is on its way. And let's see, what is this karmic aspect that Spirit is asking you to release. Yeah, and it has to do with the aspect of maybe where you've allowed yourself to be manipulated, basically, and allowed yourself to kind of not see things clearly. Because of what, Spirit? Yeah, because you kind of relinquished your power away. Unknowingly, you relinquished your power away, and you kind of maybe expected for somebody else to be that rock for you, when it was you all along that was supposed to be that rock for yourself. And it's now time to kind of look into the horizon, look into the cycles that you've been through, and really find that emotional sovereignty, that ability to kind of, feel the emotions that are there, maybe feel the longing, feel the grief, whatever might be present for you, but to kind of rise above those feelings and to really be able to look at them objectively and really see, like, even though I have these feelings, what is the direction that I should move towards? I mean, we always should allow ourselves to feel the feelings, but through that process, there's actually like an alchemical process of transmutation that happens. And then we can start to see things clearly as to what to do. I'm always an advocate of releasing those emotions mindfully. If you feel angry, go and punch a pillow, yell in a forest, whatever you need to do. And it's kind of through that then we can reach that place of emotional sovereignty, of seeing the situation clearly and kind of close out those old cycles that have been really hard work. So yeah, you might have felt in your life like you've been carrying the weight of the world. You might have felt like you've been helping everyone and their mother and nobody's really there to help you. And this might make you feel like a victim, but from a person who has gone through this, and this is a bit of tough love, I have to tell you that it's you that has to give yourself that love, actually. It's not somebody else that is supposed to take care of you the way that you take care of them, Sometimes we focus so much on helping other people and really overly focusing on how every single reaction of ours impacted our people, instead of being emotionally sovereign within ourselves, knowing that they can emotionally regulate and that is our job as well, to emotionally regulate ourselves, not to emotionally regulate other people. That is their job. But oftentimes in difficult, toxic relationships, those lines really get blurred, particularly if in childhood our parents were kind of not affirming us, whether it is through the look in their eyes when they would look at us, or as babies, when it's very normal for parents to kind of repeat the same sounds of the child, like cuckoo, gaga, or whatever it might be. If that kind of self-affirmation didn't happen for you while you were growing up, there might be a really big gap in self-identity, and you might be an empath and have trouble with even sometimes differentiating what are your feelings in comparison to what the feelings of other people are. And it's time to kind of walk away from this. It's time to put an end to this and kind of really be your own number one nurturer, your own number one provider. And a really good way of doing this is actually through Jung's active imaginations, Carl Jung. He did this practice where you can sit or you can lay down and you close your eyes and you can ask yourself the question, How do I feel in relation to other people? And then a vision, an imagination is going to come with which you can interact and ask it questions. And then you can ask yourself the following question, which is, how do I want to feel in relation to other people? And how can I achieve that? And you can ask, how can I take better care of myself as to not expect for other people to be there as emotional regulators for me? And this is going to help you release a whole bunch of grief and walk away from these old patterns, basically. And find new knowledge and lay old things to rest. And let go of control, of controlling other people, because that's another thing that can actually happen oftentimes, is that in certain ways we start to become coercive towards others in how they need to behave and how they need to act so that they can be a source of emotional regulation for us. But it's like an upside down world. That's never gonna be achieved because it wasn't their job ever to do that in the first place. And this is what also then helps us heal our attachments to people and find more secure attachment, find harmony and love. Now I would like to ask Spirit, let's see, like, what is this portal? Because Spirit is talking to us also that there's a portal that's opening, right? And we know what kind of a healing this entails now as you go through the portal. But let's also ask, what is on the other side of this portal? What can you expect on the other side as you come through the portal, Spirit? Yeah, you can find divine union, basically, true love, a long-lasting love. Somebody that's gonna be there for the long haul. No more karmic relationships, basically. No more twin flames or whatever, you know? Because, yeah, people say twin flames are such a great thing, but I think it's just another way of being in a karmic relationship. And yeah, you both grow a bit more than what you grow in a karmic relationship, but yet it's still not really stable. And you can expect a person, may it be male or female, to kind of come like with their own cup full and with something to actually offer you, no longer just breadcrumbs, you know? And I am seeing that this transmutation is happening pretty quickly with the Chariot. This person that might be coming in for you is a person with a clear mind, somebody that knows how to master themselves, somebody that knows how to master their own mind. A healthy relationship, basically. So let me ask, what is it that you have going for you right now that is really positive, that is helping you through this process? Or what can you lean on, basically, to help you go through this process? Something that you might possess already, a tool that's already in your toolbox, or it could even be a new one. Interesting. Tell me a bit more about this, Spirit. Tell me a bit more. Yeah. So what's in your toolbox already is to kind of start seeing the trickery that's been happening in your relationships and calling it out from a place of tradition. It's kind of giving me this vibe of, do you really think it's okay to talk to me like that? You know? Or what are you really trying to achieve with this? You know, posing these kind of questions if these kind of people are still in your life. And the other thing is to really allow yourself to look at the wounds that you're carrying in your hearts through your intuition. Like, for example, the active imagination that I mentioned, or by really using any other kind of form of going within and feeling the grief, really, feeling the loss that you might have felt already potentially if this is for you while growing up. And I feel like there's something else here that I'm not seeing right now. And yeah, I mean, Spirit here is re-emphasizing how important it is that you kind of pour into your own cup and find that harmony within you. What is it that I am not seeing, Spirit? What other thing do you want me to talk about? Okay. 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 Yeah, Spirit really wants me to address and kind of emphasize how hurt you've been as a woman, or in your female energy. We'll put it that way, because you might not be a woman. You might be anything else. And how hurt you've been in that energy where you were supposed to kind of receive, and where you were supposed to kind of be seen, be held, feel safe while growing up. And how that kind of really got spoiled for you. May it have been like by friends, may it have been by your caretakers, may it have been by other family members. And it's almost like that love that you were supposed to receive was withheld from you. So none of this is your fault. Okay, I really want to emphasize this. I think Spirit really wants to emphasize this. None of this is your fault, and it has been incredibly painful. I mean, we got a 10 of Swords here. Incredibly painful, laying face down with a bunch of swords stabbed in your back, where people just didn't treat you right, you know, where people deceived and tricked and manipulated. And of course you just wanted to feel loved, and you didn't know exactly how to love yourself, and you thought that other people were gonna give you that. But yes, Spirit is saying that the time has come that in order for you to feel loved, you really gotta start with yourself. And with that, you're also gonna start attracting new connections in. Connections where you are held, connections where you are respected. But for that, first you need to learn how to emotionally regulate yourselves so you can know what is healthy for you to expect from another person, if you know what I mean. I'm curious, is there anything else, Spirit, that you want me to address? Yeah, I mean, this pattern basically with the devil might have really got you into some toxic relationships in which you felt like you were chained, like you were in a cycle of addiction with this person, where you really weren't treated the way that you were supposed to. But now it's your opportunity, because the light is being shed upon this, even though it might feel uncomfortable. And it's kind of time for Judgment Day, for your justice to come through. But that can, and you've kind of been given some strength within yourself now to kind of be able to go through this process differently, and kind of kill off, God, all of the cards are flying, and kind of kill off this pattern within you, and kind of learn to nurture yourself, because this trickery, I mean, it's the tower, right? It's like you've seen what it's doing. Whatever relationship you might have with this person, it's been broken, it's been torn to bits. And Spirit is saying that it's time for you to leave if you haven't left yet. But I do think many of you have. And to not lose hope, because there is a new sense of stability given to you. Emotional stability, but also physical stability. And a new vision on how to move forward on your path. It's like through this healing, or already in the process, you're gonna start to see a new vision for yourself, for the life that you actually do want. So yeah. And for the love, of course. For the love that is good for you. For the love that you deserve. That is from yourself in the first place, and then from the people that you surround yourself with. So I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe, because it helps my channel to spread the message to anyone that might be in need to receive it. I'm sending you a lot of love. I know that this might feel like a difficult process, but you're gonna come out of this as a new person. Have a wonderful day.